How does a small regional power take on the world's most powerful navy? Not head-on. Iran's strategy is asymmetric warfare, hitting where the US isn't expecting it. Imagine this: two civilian ships sailing near an aircraft carrier. Everything looks normal, but with the press of a button, a shipping container opens. Out comes a missile. These are self-made Iranian anti-ship missiles, still deadly. And that's just the start. Out of the same ships, low-flying drones and fast attack boats swarm the carrier. Small submarines add torpedoes to the mix. In quick succession, this combination can slip past the carrier strike group's defenses and achieve up to 10% impact, enough to damage the carrier and make the waters too dangerous for the US to operate in. Let's break down Iran's 6 key tactics. The most famous is the swarm. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Navy operates hundreds of small, fast attack craft armed with machine guns, rockets, and anti-ship missiles. They don't fight destroyers one-on-one. They deploy dozens of boats simultaneously from every direction. The goal: overwhelm defensive systems by presenting more targets than a ship can track and destroy at once. Pattern interrupts, speed, and numbers make it deadly. Next, the silent killer: mines. Iran can deploy thousands of naval mines, including smart mines that detect acoustic signatures of enemy ships. Submarines, small boats, even disguised civilian ships can place mines in shipping lanes. The goal isn't just military, it's economic. Block safe passage, spike oil prices, and inflict massive global pressure. Iran's mountainous coastline is ideal for mobile missile batteries. Using shoot-and-scoot tactics, truck-mounted crews fire missiles, then relocate before the US can strike. Ballistic missiles turn the Gulf into a deadly kill zone, where ships are under constant threat of fire with nowhere to hide. Shallow Persian Gulf waters are tough for massive nuclear subs, but perfect for Iran's diesel-electric mini-subs like the Ghadir class. These can lie in wait, silently, then fire torpedoes at high-value targets. Surprise ambushes can disable aircraft flight decks, degrade air power, and lay mines to force ships into kill zones where missiles and drones follow. Iran has invested heavily in drones, not just for surveillance, but as loitering munitions. Suicide drones targeting radar dishes and flight decks. Launched in massive waves, they can blind a fleet and halt flight operations, leaving ships vulnerable to missile strikes. Targeting US bases and logistics. Iran knows the US relies on ports in Bahrain and air cover from Qatar to sustain operations. Iran's ballistic missile arsenal can target these static hubs, denying fuel, ammo, and command support. Without ports, ships can't stay in the Gulf. Likely targets are Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar, naval support activity Bahrain, and bases in Iraq and the UAE. Al Udeid, hosting 8,000 US troops, is critical for air operations. Iran could use Fado 110 missiles, 300 kilometers, or Qiyam missiles, 800 kilometers, with proximity fuses to maximize fragmentation and overpressure. Even hardened aircraft shelters and fuel tanks are at risk. NAS Bahrain, home to the US Fifth Fleet, is another strategic node. Iran's coastal anti-ship missiles and proxy forces could disrupt both naval operations and port access. In Kuwait, bases like Camp Arifjan and Ali Salam host 13,000 troops and supply chains. Soviet-era missiles, re-engineered as anti-ship weapons, can travel Mach 3.5, striking ships and disrupting trade routes. Iraq-based US forces are within range too. Iran's missile forces use hardened underground bases and mobile launchers for survivability, enabling rapid strikes. Key targets include runways, aircraft shelters, command centers, and logistics hubs. The objective: paralyze US operations and limit effective response. Iran's strategy isn't to win by sinking carriers, it's to deny access, inflict economic pain, and assert regional influence. By combining swarms, mines, missiles, submarines, drones, and base strikes, Iran can complicate the Gulf for even the most advanced navy. If you want to understand how the US plans to respond, check out our next video on US military strategy in the Middle East.